There are two things that are really close to my heart. One is music, and the other is psychology. Psychology basically understanding human behavior and maybe how we can make this world a better place to live in. So, when I blend the two of them together, I'm going to talk about today singing in harmony and living in harmony. I'm going to illustrate this with the help of my daughters, my family over here. We're going to first sing two lines of a very simple song in unison. Unison means we're going to sing the same thing, and then we're going to sing it in harmony after that, just to illustrate the difference between the two. Okay? 1, 2, 3. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are grey. And now we'll sing the same thing in harmony. That means we're singing three different things, but we're going to make it blend together. So see how that sounds. 1, 2, 3. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are grey. Okay, this time it was in harmony. That means we were singing three different things, but in spite of being different, they blended together. Thanks, girls. So these three different things that we were singing were just three different voices. A higher voice, a middle level voice, and a lower voice. And they blended together and created the harmony. Now this is what happens in groups. We can use the same analogy for personalities. We could have different personalities blending together. Now before I move on, you may be hearing all these sounds across. Obviously it's the festive season and these are the fireworks, so we can just ignore that for now. When we sang the first time, we sang in unison. Now it's very difficult to find a world in which everybody is the same. Things would have been very nice. Unison sounded good, but it's very difficult to find every one of this having the same personalities and all that. We're more likely to have people who are very different. Every human being is so different. So what is important is blending together. How can we do this? I'll use another analogy of music first, and then I'll explain it in terms of personality. Harmony is produced by different musical notes that work in coordination with one another. For example, in something called the C scale, okay, you have a chord that's la la la, maybe the C chord, okay, made up of C, E, and G. Now that one chord blends, those three notes blend together to form one chord. But it's not only that one chord that can make up the whole song. If you play the whole song with just one chord, again that will sound very boring. So we need other chords. So there could be a person called B who comes into the room. Now C, E, G will say, you're not part of our chord, you're a different person. But B will have to realize, I have to bend a little. I have to compromise a bit. So B can become B flat, compromising a bit. And then the C, E, G and B flat together will make up a new chord called C seventh. And that sounds beautiful in itself. And that in fact would lead to more harmony, because the C seventh would lead to another chord called the F chord, which sounds so beautiful. It leads beautifully to the F chord. And then you will have the C, C seventh, F, and you'll have a beautiful tune and a song emerging from that harmony. But is it always the duty of the minority to compromise? Does B always have to become B flat and compromise? Sometimes B may say, I always am compromising. Today I want to stay as B. I don't want to change. So C, E and G may have to accept B as he is. So they will take C, E, G and B together and make a new chord called the C major seventh chord. And that is beautiful in itself. Now, what am I trying to say is that there are times that this newness and this difference of somebody with a different personality brings a beauty into this relationship. But we have to be ready to accept it. Okay? We have to be ready in any group to allow our differences to blend in, to allow our differences to strengthen us rather than to weaken us. Now, the best example here I can give is of the Beatles' music. I think there's no one on the face of the earth who doesn't know who the Beatles are. Most of their songs don't have just regular chords, like what I call just now a C, F, a G seventh. Rather than that, they would play a C sixth, an A seventh, a G7 suspended fourth. And as a result of allowing these unusual, unconventional, different notes into their music has become richer. It sounds so rich that it is so coveted for 40 years or more. The Beatles have not gone off the music scenes, they're still there. So, in conclusion, just as these different musical chords were so tolerant and accepting of one another, and then they've stayed on for years and years, similarly, by we accepting each other with our differences, with our different personalities, we can grow closer as a family and we can produce richer harmony together. I rest my keys, I rest my case. And I hope this helps you in some way or the other to encourage people who are different to stay different and to allow us to blend together. Thank you.